Stress. We've all heard the legend of a mysterious physical, mental, and emotional factor that has been reported to cause bodily and mental tension. It doesn't just make you worried, it gets inside your head. And you know what it does in there? It triggers an enzyme that thusly attacks a molecule in the hippocampus, which is responsible for regulating synapses. When the synapses are modified, fewer neural connections are able to be made in that area. This means that with one trigger of an enzyme, stress can completely depreciate your desire to socialize and even cause memory impairments. Sure, right now it's just textbook brain chemistry for you. But you'll see, you'll understand, because stress is everywhere and you can't escape it. You know the worst part? It's here, right here, all around you. I mean, look where you're sitting. It's high school. His favorite breeding ground.
Here at Stress Lab 1, we've been trying to pinpoint the current location of stress based on previous sightings and predetermined statistics. Around 49% of students have reported feeling a great deal of stress on a daily basis. We've also concluded that stress does not give up on its victims.
When stress attacks, catecholamine hormones such as adrenaline or noradrenaline cause immediate physical reactions to the. These include increased heart rates, hyperventilation, paling, and/or flushing of the complexion, inhibition of the stomach, and upper intestinal movement to the point where digestion slows down or even stops. Constriction of blood vessels in certain parts of the body, dilation of blood vessels for muscles, inconsistencies in the tear and salivary glands, dilation of pupils, loss of hearing, loss of peripheral vision, and shaking, to name a few.
This information has allowed us to gather some subjects who we have determined are being affected by stress. Observe their erratic behavior.
I haven't slept. Since the main goal of our facility is to locate stress and then eradicate its existence, we have tested multiple methods that are currently practiced as stress-deleting techniques upon the subjects in order to determine effectiveness of each technique.
Before we can begin determining what solutions to test on which subject, we had to ensure that each subject was under distress or negative stress and not eustress or positive stress.
Once we were sure of the distress of our subjects, we divided them into 4 groups and assigned each group a coping mechanism for stress. Positive appraisal, which is the use of supports from others. Negative avoidance, which is a reliance upon the use of substances. Family communication, which is familial support's approach to stress removal. And anger coping, in which yelling and blaming of others are common features. As can be expected, positive appraisal and family communication provided longer-lasting cures for stress, while negative avoidance and anger coping each had disastrous impacts on the social lives of the subjects, as well proving to be ineffective in curing the stress.
We'll send the data we have collected off to Stress Lab number 2.
Based upon the data I have received, I have been able to determine what measures should be taken within high schools in order to prevent stress from entering and thus eventually eliminate high school stress completely. It is known that the circadian system is maximally sensitive to short wavelength or blue light, which has a peak sensitivity close to 460 nanometers. Thus, said blue light, when shined upon adolescents in morning hours after waking, has been proven to cause an increased cortisol awakening response. Because an increased cortisol awakening response accounts for the anticipation of stress and thus reduces it before the stress manages to implement itself into a teenager's day, replacing the lights in school with blue lights for morning hours would allow for an increased cortisol awakening response and decreased stress. In addition to the lighting, it is also known that the colors blue and green are used in color therapy cases in order to combat stress. By painting the walls of the classrooms blue and green, we can assure a less anxiety-filled environment. The final achievement of our stress-eliminating plan is in the determination of an optimal temperature to ensure comfort. Studies have shown that a warmer room temperature provides an environment of decreased anxiety and less mistakes tend to be made in such an environment. Therefore, we determine the optimal room temperature to be within the range of 72 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and believe that each room in the school should be adjusted to fit said range. If our plans are implemented, stress will no longer be the frightening urban legend that seems to haunt so many high schoolers and affect so many more.